Hi everyone. This week we're going to learn about constants. To create a constant in our program, we have to use the keyword static. When we use the keyword static, that means that this variable is going to be shared by every class in the hierarchy of pet. That means we're going to share it with cat, dog, and snake. One of the applications that we typically use for a constant is to come up with a counting variable that's going to count every time a pet or anything in its hierarchy is created. So since we are either using the default pet constructor or by specifically saying super in the pet constructors for dog and snake, for example, in both of these constructors, we're going to have to add a line of code where we increment the number of pets. So it doesn't matter if we use this constructor or this constructor, that will happen. Now, in addition, I wanted to create a static accessor method called getNumPets so that I can print out the total number of pets created in our driver. So in doing so, when I call this, I'm also going to have to use the name of the class pets. And static methods can only use static variables. So now you'll see that in my driver program, if you kind of do an inventory, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total pets. So now when I'll go ahead and run this for you again. When you run this, you'll see at the very end I added a line of code, the number of pets created. And again, like I was saying, since the accessor method is static, in order to call it, I do it differently. I say the name of the class, a dot, and then the static accessor method. So that's working great. The other part of today's lesson is on this. So this is a reference that we use in Java anytime we're populating a piece of instance data or want to refer to the object that called the method. So I'll give you an example of how we use this. When we're populating instance data in our constructors, what we like to do is add this dot. And when we add this dot, Java knows that these pieces of instance data that we're populating are in reference to the object that called or is being created when we use the constructor. So we use that there, and later on we'll use that. We could also use it in our equals method. So now I want to go through and look at my other classes. So for cat, I have no additional instance data, so I don't have to worry about using the this reference. In dog, since I have an additional piece of instance data, here I'm going to say this dot weight. And finally in snake, I know I have another piece of instance data, so I'm going to say this dot length. So let's say we also had in here an equals method that we wanted to add. So public boolean equals, and we're going to say object obj. First thing we're going to do in here is cast the object to be a snake. We'll say x's, and then we're going to say snake obj. Now I'm going to see if snakes are equal based on their length. So I'm going to say if, now here's where I can use this reference. If this dot get length is equal to x dot get length, and I need to put brackets in. Return true, else return false. I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to compile. All right, another video coming.